You're listening to the Casting for Fun podcast, the show that talks about entertainment, sports, music, and inspirational stories for all to enjoy. We're glad you could join us today. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now, here is your host, Albert Pineda.
Welcome, everybody, to the Casting for Fun podcast. I'm your host, Albert Pineda. And joining me this week is going to be an interview with my good friend, Sean Luevano, which we will get to the interview in just a little bit. I do want to talk about a few things before I get to that interview with Sean. For those who are here just to hear Sean, no offense on my part, taken on my part. If you are here just to hear Sean, I'm going to put a timestamp in the description so you'll know when to skip ahead. I don't want to take up too much of Sean's time just talking about my own stuff, but I do want to just talk about a few things really quick. Part of it also is because since I'm recording and releasing episodes on specific Tuesdays, sometimes the interviews that I record are actually done a week or almost a week and a half, 2 weeks before. And by that time, sometimes some of the talking points we discuss are outdated. And such is the case for my conversation with Sean. We talk about the Dodgers, and we talk about the potential starting lineup that I found according to CBSSports.com. And as it turns out, AJ Pollock was initially on that initial starting lineup, but now he's been traded. So he's no longer on the Dodger team. So I wanted to make that correction. Now, as they made a trade with the White Sox for Craig Kimbrell, a closer who they needed with the departure of Kenley Jansen. So that's an update I wanted to make to the podcast. Also, we talk about U.S. soccer, particularly World Cup qualifying for CONCACAF teams. The U.S. had one last game remaining in their schedule against Costa Rica, a game that they ended up losing, but they only needed to not lose by 6 goals, and they only lost by 2. So the U.S. are officially back in the World Cup for Qatar. Really excited about that, as is Mexico, who qualified, and Canada. Costa Rica is still in good shape. They have to play a one-off playoff game against New Zealand sometime in June. Most likely, I think they're going to be able to handle New Zealand. That shouldn't be a problem for them. And then the draw was done for the World Cup. So now the U.S. knows who they're going to be facing in Qatar. The teams are going to be against England, Iran, and whoever wins the UEFA playoff game between Wales, Ukraine, and Scotland. So it could be any one of those 3 teams. So it should be really interesting to see what happens with who moves forward. Next, Red Hot Chili Peppers released their new album, Unlimited Love. If you've been listening to the podcast, you know I've been really excited about this album, and it's great. It's awesome. I'll probably take time to talk about it on another episode. I don't want to take too much time now, but definitely check out Unlimited Love, now available by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And lastly, 2 autobiographies that were recently announced last month in March that I'm really excited about are going to be from Zachary Levi, entitled Radical Love, and from Ralph Macchio, entitled Wax On, The Karate Kid and Me. Zach's autobiography is scheduled for release on June 28, 2022, so June of this year. And Ralph Macchio's is scheduled for release in October 18th of this year. So both of them, I think, are going to be really exciting, good reads. And I'm definitely going to be doing episodes to talk about those 2 books once they release. In the meantime, so that's all I got for now. Thank you for all who listen to the podcast. I really enjoy recording this and putting it together. I hope you're enjoying listening. And now here is my interview with Sean Luevano. Joining me on the Casting for Fun podcast is my good buddy, Sean Luevano. Sean, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you. How are you?
Doing well. It was a good weekend and just recovering, and everything's well.
I'm glad to hear that, man. Glad to hear that.
So I'm excited that we can have this chance to talk. I really want to hear more about your pizza business, and I absolutely love talking sports. So I'm looking forward to just chatting about that really quick.
I'll go for it, man. Ask away.
All right. So let me ask you first about the pizza business. I think you gave me a little bit of background when I went to the party that you catered for Ryan for his graduation party. So I was curious, like, what made you decide to want to launch your own business, and why pizza?
I've always wanted to. I like cooking. I like cooking for other people. I've always wanted to try my hand at having my own business or food business. And it's just kind of been like 2-3 years in the making. And I kind of settled on pizza because when I was living in Mexico, in Merida, we went and had this really good pizza, the Al Pastor. The meat was the best Al Pastor I ever had, but the crust wasn't all that good. They just had like regular marinara sauce. and I felt like some of the Mexican flavors and like with the marinara sauce and the crust, it just kind of clashed. But that's what sparked the idea of pizza. And then I spent the last 2-3 years doing a bunch of research and practicing, and to kind of do my own pop-up.
Awesome. So how long did it take you to learn to make a pizza?
From like learning how to make it to like where I think I got it down, it took about like 8 months.
8 months? Oh, okay. Did you did you have like someone teach you, or like you just kind of figured it out on your own, just guessing? Or
No, man, I bought this book called Mastering Pizza.
Ooh, awesome.
And I did a lot of YouTube videos, and there's a show on Netflix called I think The Chef Show with Roy Choi and Jon Favreau from Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
On Netflix, where it's about good eats and the background of restaurants and whatever. So they did one they went to a restaurant called Pizzana.
Uh-huh.
And that's where I think I learned a lot of making pizza, how really easy it is and how quick it is. But it just takes a lot of practice. I think what took the longest was the flavors were actually the easiest part to combine, but the dough was the hardest, so I kind of settled on a medium hydration dough of like 68%, or it's going towards the high end of hydration, 60%. And I cold ferment it in the fridge for 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah. So that it took me 8 months to figure that out.
Wow, man. Sounds pretty intricate, but at the same time, it doesn't sound like it's too difficult. So I guess with a lot of practice, you get it down pretty good.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, if you like to eat and you're familiar with flavors, and it's all about building layers of flavor.
Yeah.
So if you're kind of familiar with that, like for me, I really looked at it as a taco. Like like you have your tortilla, and then you have your handmade tortilla and your flour tortilla, right? And then you pick your protein, and depending on the protein, what kind of sauce you put on it. It's just I thought of pizza of like building a taco, because that's what I'm familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
So like, and I say that because like I love Mexican flavors, and like one of my top selling pizzas is my chorizo pizza. And I tried chorizo pizza before, but people just do the same thing. They just put marinara on it and chorizo, and that's it. But the chorizo, it just kind of clashes. So what I did was I do like a chipotle based salsa.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put that as the base with cilantro, and then I put like Chihuahua cheese, which is like Mexican mozzarella. I put the chorizo, and then I cook that, and then I just put a little bit of a little cilantro as garnish, and then I put like a salsa verde. So now everything is now all the flavors go together. Nothing clashes.
Oh,
and
awesome.
then you have this like really fresh soft crust. So it goes well.
Good, very good. So with since you launched the company and been doing events, I'm sure you've gotten to get a feel as to like what people are liking, what of the pizzas you make. Because there's more than one, which I've seen with the party I went to last summer. What do you think are your best pizzas?
My best pizza is the al pastor. A lot of people are really skeptical, but the number one compliment I get is I make a caramelized pineapple like sauce, salsa. It's spicy, and that just kind of binds like the chipotle salsa, the al pastor, the lime. It just binds everything together. Just like a salsa can either make or break a taco. That's what makes the pizza the spicy pineapple. That's the number one compliment I get. So when I go to breweries, people who go to breweries want to go because they want to try something new and different flavors. So that's where my al pastor really sells. Are really open about it. But when I've gone to done like a little festival here or there, it's mostly like pepperoni and margarita. People aren't really as open to like the other flavors.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I can tell you, your Hot Pot store is really good. I had it when at Ryan's party. That was really delicious. And then your basic pepperoni. I mean, you can't really beat that either. So
Yeah, I mean, it's all about quality. Like you could get a bag of Hormel pepperoni. You could get like a 5 pound bag for like maybe $10.
mhm.
But I pay $9 a pound for my pepperoni because I use Boar's Head because they have a really good quality pepperoni that's not as greasy.
Mhm.
So that's why when I make my pepperoni, like you don't see a bunch of orange grease on the pizza.
Oh, wow, I
You
didn't.
know,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, it's all about the quality of ingredients.
Nice, very nice. So, do you have any events coming up soon? I mean, you've already done several, but I mean, just where can people?
Yeah. Well, I'm actually going. We're celebrating a friend's birthday, so I'm doing a little thing for our friend. But I kind of took. I'm kind of relaxing on the events because I started doing breweries.
Yeah.
But the thing with breweries, to get like the prime days, I have to do like they asked me to commit to days during the week, and there are a lot of times or days where I would break even at best.
Oh, okay.
And one thing I didn't know about, well, this business venture is pizza for me became more of an hobby and like a therapy. And so when I felt like work, I dreaded making pizza.
Oh, okay.
So then I scaled it down and I just do like, I don't advertise really, but I still do like little catering gigs here and there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
Very cool. Very cool.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I definitely can't wait to try it again, man. It was so good. So we should
yeah,
probably just throw a
definitely.
party and have you cook for us.
Yeah, yeah. I'm always down to do things for friends and family, and that's what I do mostly. It's a hobby that makes me feel good. I have an artistic like outlet. I get to cook, and I want to leave it as something enjoyable than like a business. And I stress out if I cover the ingredients or not.
Mhm. Well, good for you for trying new things and venturing out. It's actually an important thing. I mean, in life, we just have to kind of experiment and see what we like. And if it's not quite working out, we can make adjustments or try something else. But we just got to put ourselves out there.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Definitely.
Anything else with your pizza company you wanted to bring up?
Uh, you know, um, I ever since you asked me to be on the podcast, I was thinking a lot about it because a lot of people ask me how come I'm not doing bigger events or going back to other events? And I was trying to find the right answer. And just to be completely honest, I think making pizza, and I want to just put this out there just to be open about everything, because making pizza for me has been a therapy because it helped me, how do I want to say, build confidence in myself and doing something else.
Yeah.
Just, I had a lot of anxiety and making pizza and creating something, just, it really did help. And I just want to put that out there just so people, aren't afraid of trying something new and something different and being open to the positive changes that they may have in life, because it's been a big impact on me.
Dude, that sounds great, man. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's nothing else with the pizza company. Let's move on to some sports talk. I'm pretty excited to chat some sports with you.
Before
yeah,
move on to sports talk, can I say R.I.P. to Razor Ramon? I'm gonna miss you, Chico.
Oh, we should definitely. I mean, technically, I guess Vince McMahon would call it sports entertainment, as it were. So, but
Sports
it
entertainment.
counts. And it's funny because, like, now, like, they actually talk about it on Fox Sports. Like, the WWE has their own show on Fox Sports, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
So,
and they're even on ESPN. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about it really quick, man. Because again, it's a guilty pleasure of mine. It's not many people that I can talk pro wrestling with. It's kind of one of those things that, like, yes, I like it, but I don't really tell a lot of people that I do. So
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we grew up we grew up with like my older brother was introduced into wrestling, like Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior.
yeah,
And then I grew up watching the Attitude Era with The Rock and Stone Cold. But I think it just really shaped like who we are in the sense of like pop culture and like not taking ourselves too serious, you know. Like I remember once in a while with my friends, like we'll pretend to be so and so. I mean, we're just saying like ridiculous stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But it was just, I don't know, it's just really fun. Just something, it's fun to bond over. It's something to talk about, you know, when you're younger. Like we were watching old WWE promos and we are laughing at ourselves for like believing that Undertaker really killed his mom and his brother. And his brother came back after 20 years and learned to wrestle just to beat his brother who killed their mom.
Yeah.
Like I was like 10 years old, really believing that stuff, you know? So
Oh, that's
it's,
awesome.
yeah, man. I mean, it's really a lot. I mean, look at The Rock opening the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't Dwayne Johnson who did it. It was The Rock. And you know what I mean?
Yeah. So we'll definitely get back to Scott Hall because we want to, you know, honor him for his passing. But it's pretty cool that you see a lot of like, because of the characters they play, like a lot of these pro wrestlers get into acting. Like Dave Bautista is a huge Hollywood actor now, and so is John Cena, which is pretty cool. That they can use that as a launching pad to do bigger and bigger things, like obviously like The Rock did.
Oh yeah, man. And I mean, there you know, rap music and even reggaeton music, there's a lot of wrestling references. I mean, Bad Bunny has a whole song about Booker T, and he came out in a Booker T came out in a Bad Bunny video, or all these sports teams where they have championship belts, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. Good stuff, man. So with Scott Hall, that was a pretty interesting story when he first met Vince McMahon to join up with the then WWF. Like I guess for his like tryout interview or whatever, like he just did an impersonation of Tony Montana, Al Pacino's character from Scarface, and McMahon I guess was completely clueless and had no idea what it was from, not thinking that Scott Hall had created it himself. But the Razor Ramon character was based off of that, like the way he would talk, which was pretty cool. And you know, we get to see that he's playing the bad guy. He's the villain at first, but he was so cool that like, hey, we got to make him the good guy. We got to make him like the baby face. So it was pretty cool to see how his character evolved, and he just like personified cool. He was a really cool guy with a cool character.
Yeah, he made being a bad guy cool.
Absolutely, man. Did you have a favorite match that either Scott Hall or Razor Ramon, whether it was WWF or /WWE or WCW?
I think was he in? I believe it was the ladder match. No.
Yeah, the ladder match against Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's probably his best match.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I was really bummed when he went from Razor Ramon to Scott Hall with NWO.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, those guys have to evolve into, you know.
Yeah, then NWO like changed the business, as it were. Complete.
Yeah. So it was a good move on his part. Kept them really relevant.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate that he, you know, succumbed to his addictions. It was, I mean, a lot of people we don't know that they go through depression, anxiety, and he had a lot of alcohol issues that he had to deal with and drug issues.
Yeah, man. Unfortunately, that's a thing in wrestling. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know, they deal with all that physical pain.
They're always on the road. Yeah. And if I remember reading correctly online, I guess Diamond Dallas Page, it actually had saved his life years earlier. If not for DDP, he probably would have passed away a while ago.
Yeah, I believe it, man.
So rest in peace to the bad guy.
There you go.
Very cool. Well, I hope I didn't cringe too many of my listeners. Some people may have just thinking like, oh, what are you talking about pro wrestling for? But some people probably would find it interesting. So, you know.
No, it's an interesting life. It's really a hustle. I didn't know that they're like independent contractors. Like they have to book their flights. Like they do everything themselves to make it. Like they literally bet on themselves 100%. You know, I read The Rock's biography, and it's really probably one of the most mentally and emotional challenging things a person could do.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
You know, for success. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, nothing else with pro wrestling. Let's jump into some World Cup soccer qualifying talk.
Ooh, I'm ready to officially book our ticket to Qatar on Wednesday.
Oh yeah. It's looking very, very good. You know, a little bit of redemption from 2018 in Russia. That just heartbreaking. Just stat I wanted to bring up really quick. I was reading this on, I think it was CBS Sports. or maybe been NBC, whichever one who was talking about it, that in 2026, they have the joint hosting bid with USA, Mexico, and Canada. So technically that means all three are in the World Cup. And then after that, FIFA's expanding the teams to like 48, which it means that CONCACAF's going to get 6 spots instead of just 3 automatic. So from here on out, qualifying should be very, very easy for the US. So I don't anticipate we'll have another like scenario like Russia, where like we're just like heartbreaking on the last day of qualifying and don't make it.
Yeah, no, I mean, hopefully not, but I do hope that with this group, that with Christian Pulisic, that like even if they kept it the same, where it's 3 teams that only advance, that they set the tone for the expectation of winning, you know.
Oh yeah,
that the US is here to stay and they're forced to be reckoned with, which I think we're around the corner.
Oh yeah. In fact, actually, so since it's been a while since we've had a chance to talk about US soccer, back when I was living at Dexter Street with Nick, we would talk about it all the time. But
man.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just, I mean, I think this is the first time where you have a group of guys that just work very cohesively and are very united. I think, a lot of these guys, grew up playing soccer and were taught by people playing soccer and like understand the culture of soccer, whereas Landon Donovan and Clint Dempsey were like the first people.
Oh, yeah. And then speaking of like the Trailblazers, I mean, right now we got so many guys playing in high European leagues, which is really exciting to see. Like, so I was also reading on NBC Sports, they ranked their top 5 nationally team players right now. They put number 5, Weston McKennie playing for Juventus in Italy.
Yeah.
Tyler Adams, number 4, playing at Leipzig in Germany. Serginho Dest playing for Barcelona. So, I mean, we had a guy sharing the field with Messi just last year before Messi transferred to PSG. Yeah. And then Gio Reyna, who I always love watching his dad play when he was back on the national team, playing for Dortmund in Germany, and then Pulisic playing for Chelsea and winning a Champions League with Chelsea.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know if LeBron James is going to hear this podcast, but let's get Pulisic to over to Liverpool, man. That's my club. Yeah, no, because LeBron James owns a stake in Liverpool. So
yeah, he does. Well, I mean, the Lakers season's pretty much tanked, so you might as well listen to my podcast.
I know, right? All right.
But so I don't know if you had a chance to watch the USA Mexico game on Friday.
No, I was working and then I had some things to do. But it was a draw, wasn't it?
Yeah, 0-0 draw in Azteca, which is a good result for the US because like they've never beaten Mexico in qualifying at Azteca. In a friendly, they've beaten them there, but not in qualifying. In the game, the broadcasting was a little weird because it was actually on the new streaming service Paramount Plus exclusively. So you had to have a subscription to that to watch it, which I subscribe to. So
oh, there you go.
Yeah. So it's $5 a month. You'll get CONCACAF qualifying and other cool soccer stuff, along with all the other content that they offer on Paramount Plus.
Oh, that's good to know. I gotta check that out.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was a good game. Gio Reyna's first game back since being injured. So it was nice to see him on the field. Very fluid. I mean, it was great just watching him play. And then Pulisic, he almost had a goal. He was almost able to break through, but then Ochoa stopped him like point blank. It was like, oh wow, man, that was a great save. I can see why he's one of Stephanie's favorite players.
Oh yeah. No, he's a great player. Oh man.
So a good result for both teams. I mean, you wouldn't think that a 0-0 tie, but I mean, USA and Mexico are still in good standings moving forward.
With their history at Azteca, I mean, it's not just the history in Azteca where they haven't had good results, but it's, the environment's hostile, the altitude is, they got to get used to. It's not easy, and for a draw, that's actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And then just yesterday, they demolished Panama 5-1.
Oh,
so now Panama's
5-1. Yeah, and I think they'll win against Costa Rica, but they're definitely not going to lose, and not by 6. So that's why I think our tickets pretty much punched.
Pretty much punched, yeah. So it'll be Canada of all teams is already qualified and was leading CONCACAF, which is kind of crazy. The USA and Mexico pretty confident that they're going to take those other 2 guaranteed spots, which would mean Costa Rica would have to settle for the playing game, which I'm confident they'll be whoever they have to play. It'll probably be someone from like Asia or like the one of the other like lower conferences. So
No, yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for Wednesday's game. I work from home that day, so I'll be able to watch it. I won't be on the train.
Okay,
So,
I think that one might be a Paramount Plus exclusive, so look into it. I think you can subscribe for the first week for free, but for $5 a month, I think it's worth it. In fact, you can watch the Halo show that they just launched, which is pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay, I'll check that out.
So, anything else with World Cup qualifying?
USA all the way, man.
Oh yeah, looking forward to Qatar. It's gonna be a weird World Cup watching it at Christmas time, but I guess it's better than playing in the summertime there in Qatar.
Yeah. I have a question for you, real quick.
Yeah.
What was the gnarliest USA national jersey you remember?
The gnarliest has to be the '94 World Cup here in the US, but it was just like that really ugly like flag color, like almost like tie-dye kind of.
Oh, with the blue with the big white stars.
Yeah. So I mean, I always that it's always like envisioned in my mind because of the infamous game against Colombia.
Yeah.
And the own goal resulted in what's his name? Escobar, right? Escobar.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, getting shot.
Man,
it's a brutal game, man.
Yeah, it is, man. Some countries it is, that's for sure.
Yeah, that would be the gnarliest, but I mean, it's hard to keep track because they're constantly changing it every year almost. So,
oh, for sure.
But okay, yeah. So let's move on to some Dodger talk. And
all right, Dodger talk. Well, let's see, man. Well, we're gonna be celebrating a World Series in October. That's guaranteed.
Roberts guaranteed it, so
he guaranteed it. I mean, we knew. I mean, you know, if you ask Tommy Lasorda that question, of course, he's gonna say it. And, anyone who believes in their team, is gonna say it, and the Dodgers back it up.
Yeah.
So
it was a pretty interesting offseason for the team, or it has been. I mean, the season hasn't started yet, but Freddie Freeman, I wasn't expecting that at all.
I had an idea, man, and because when I was thinking about Freddie Freeman and how Atlanta hadn't locked him in yet, in my mind, I was like, this is Boston and Mookie all over.
Oh.
Like, how can you let this guy brought a championship to the city of Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
So I had a good feeling. I mean, in Friedman, I trust.
Oh yeah.
So,
it's actually kind of, I don't know if you've been listening to Petros and Money at all since, I started podcasting. I love listening to their show, but apparently I guess like talks had initially begun before the lockout happened. So back in December,
yeah.
I wasn't aware of it though. I didn't only hear about it until like after the lockout was kind of resolved, and they're saying, oh, by the way, like they're finalizing a deal now.
Yeah, I heard the rumor that the Dodgers did talk to Freddie Freeman before the lockout, and then like the second the lockout ended, they just continued and finished the deal.
That's awesome, man.
So
but,
I mean,
go ahead.
No, it's insane how amazing the Dodgers roster is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was gonna say again with the signing of Freeman though, it meant that the Dodgers weren't able to sign Kenley Jansen back, so Atlanta scooped him up, which is pretty crazy. But I guess they didn't have enough cap space, and I guess for what also they had mentioned on Petros and Money was that the Dodgers had asked Kenley Jansen just to hold off until they were able to free up some space. But I guess he didn't want to wait, so he took the money offer from Atlanta, which, I mean, I guess it's understandable if you're a pro athlete, but.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame him. He wanted something done, something settled, somewhere where he's for sure the closer, because Gratterall is going to most likely transition to the closer. And now he's just like, he might transition a lot faster.
Mm-hmm.
Than expected. But I mean, I don't blame Kenley. You got to do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited, man. I'm really excited to see Gratterall hopefully transition to another elite closer for the Dodgers.
Yeah, that'd be pretty exciting. And again, another important thing to consider for this year with the new CBA that they agreed on is that the National League is adding in a designated hitter now.
Yeah, man, that's Well, that's been a rumor for a little while,
Mhm.
and with negotiations coming, coming up. Well, that happened, but when negotiations were coming up, a lot of people speculated that was one thing that was going to happen. And for selfish reasons, I wanted them to sign Albert Pujols again
Mhm.
for to be a designated hitter. But I really loved his how he was able to transform the clubhouse.
Oh yeah.
The mentor he became to everybody. But happy. It came full circle. I'm happy for him to be back in St. Louis. But I just wonder if the Dodgers are going to pick up a DH.
It'll be interesting to see what they do. Yeah, but so as it stands right now, not that CBS Sports knows, but again, an article I read just a few days ago, I think, or maybe a day or two ago, the projected lineup that they were coming up with for the season would be Mookie Betts at right field, Trey Turner at shortstop, Freddie Freeman at first base, Justin Turner at third base, Max Muncy, who's back from injury, which is cool. He's been playing in the spring training games as the designated hitter. That's how they had it. Will Smith at catcher, Chris Taylor at second base, Cody Bellinger at center field, and then AJ Pollock at left field. So the lineup stacked. It's ready to go.
Yeah, dude. No, totally, man. It's ready to go. And what I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to miss Corey Seager with Trey Turner and shortstop?
Yeah, Corey Seager was one of my favorites. So on a personal level, I'd wish they had signed him, but I guess I understand, players got looking for other avenues to play and to win, or what's going to be best for their family. So I think he'll be missed, but at the same time, this lineup's looking pretty impressive. I think so.
Yeah, man. I was a big fan of Corey Seager, but I think with Trey Turner, if all goes well, you could rely on his health.
Yeah.
So I think you could definitely rely more on him being more productive and not worrying about too much his health like you would Corey Seager every season.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but we'll see, man. I'm really excited. I'm going to my first game in May. My coworkers and I, we all got tickets for USC
awesome.
night.
Awesome. Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. So my wife and some of our friends were planning to go to a fireworks night against the Giants in July. I have to double check on the date, but so Friday night fireworks, which I'm excited for. I haven't been to a game probably at least a year or two before COVID hit. So it's been a while for me.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. We should catch a game. Us, Stephanie and Ryan. Marcelo.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be really fun. I've gone before Ryan and Steph. It was really a blast. It was a great game. So great time with the friends. Cool, man. Anything else with the Dodgers or any other sports talks? Any other topics you want to bring up?
I'm excited Kershaw's back.
Oh yeah.
This might be his last year.
Yeah, I'd love to see him officially just retire as a Dodger. I think that'd be perfect.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And Walker Buehler's pitching, opening day, and having Kershaw on the roster, I think it's a nice little passing of the torch to Walker Buehler.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for Dustin May to come back.
Oh yeah.
I hope he turns into the superstar that he looks to be.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Well, if there's nothing else, I think we can go ahead and wrap up for tonight. But thanks for coming on my show, Sean. I really appreciate it, and definitely want to have you back on again just to chat random topics. I did that before with Nick, where he came up with random topics without telling me, and so did I, and we just kind of went and see where the conversation went. So
definitely, man, we should do one about Batman, the new Batman that came out.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet, so I definitely want to check that out.
Oh boy, yeah, you got to watch it, man. Have you checked out the reviews?
I've heard the reviews. I know initially people were skeptical because no one really thought that Pattinson would be a good Bruce Wayne, but what I've read is it's been really good. So that's definitely
top 3 Batman for me. Just saying.
Oh, really? Huh? Okay.
All right, so you have to watch it so we can talk about it.
Okay, for sure, man, for sure. Okay, well, thanks for coming on the show, Sean. You've been listening to the Casting for Fun podcast. Thanks again, man.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.